What's going on, everybody? Paul here, coming at you with a crypto review. This time we are going to be taking a look at PIVX. PIVX is a cryptocurrency based on anonymity and privacy. And as I mentioned in my Komodo video, when I take a look at a project, I like to see a few things done extremely well, rather than a whole lot of things done not so well. And PIVX lives up to this in the fact that they take privacy extremely seriously, and that shows from their relative success in the field so far. PIVX even stands for Private Instant Verified Transaction. They took the T out and left the X in TX just because PIV didn't flow off the tongue, but that's besides the point. You can see here the PIVX Manifesto. I think it's a pretty great set of principles on which PIVX is founded. PIVX is rooted in the idea that existing projects such as Bitcoin do not take privacy seriously enough, and they don't do enough to de-link existing addresses. What this means is you can follow a trail of Bitcoin transactions made from any particular wallet or address, and if any of these transactions are tied to a real-world identity, such as a department store or a bank deposit, then all the other transactions that go through that address can be linked to that respective identity, and that is not private. PIVX solves this issue by implementing a number of features to build on top of the Bitcoin network, perhaps the most important of which is the zero coin protocol, and PIVX does this in a very unique way. Essentially what they do is allow you to convert your PIVX in your wallet to an anonymous form called zPIV. A great analogy is given by the PIVX team in the form of casino chips. What they say is, think of zPIV as casino chips. You have a $100 bill, which represents PIV, and you give it to the cashier. In return, you get a $10 chip, two $20 chips, and a $50 chip. You can see those denominations here. And this represents zPIV. This means you don't own that particular $100 bill that you gave to the teller. That $100 bill is gone, but you still have a proof that you own $100 in the form of these chips. So let's say you need $50 back in fiat or PIV. You give the $50 chip, which represents zPIV, back to the cashier, and voila, you get a brand new uncirculated $50 bill, and it's given to the recipient of your choosing. And this semi-complicated process, complicated but wonderful for anonymity, is explained in detail here. It gives the example of Kirby wanting to send some PIV to Heidi anonymously using the zero coin protocol. You can see here that Kirby has 960 PIV, and he converts it to 960 zPIV. And you can see here denominations of zPIV. PIVX also uses denominations of zPIV to ensure fast transaction times while maximizing security. It's another reason that casino chip example we mentioned is so applicable. I'll link this image along with the more technical explanation about the zero coin protocol that PIVX utilizes in the description below. That way you all can take a look at it at your leisure. Now, PIVX also uses the proof of stake algorithm to secure their network. This is a bit different from proof of work, and we'll take a look at how. This is a great graph from Cointelegraph, so kudos to them. This is an excellent explanation in my opinion. So, proof of stake. A person in a proof of stake network can only, quote, mine depending on how many coins they hold. So for example, if you control 1% of the total supply of the network, you can mine 1% of the total blocks. Also, the proof of stake system makes any 51% attack more expensive. It does this because, unlike a proof of work system, you actually need to own 51% of the total coins in existence to execute a 51% attack. This is contrary to a proof of work system. In a proof of work system, you only need to provide 51% of the energy used in a network for a certain amount of time. Now, in a proof of stake system, this is more costly because now you have 51% of the supply, you execute a 51% attack, you destroy the network, and now you're left with the majority of useless coins. So it's really like shooting yourself in the foot. So that makes the network a bit more secure. Finally, proof of stake systems are more decentralized, but must work hard to build communities around their coins. This is because there's no initial incentive for mining, so people can't just come in and start providing energy to get coins, but the network actually has to convince individuals that the project has merit and is a worthwhile investment and will provide value in the future. So it's a bit harder starting out, however, it's a bit more secure in that way. Some of the benefits of proof of stake include less energy consumption overall, ease of use for the general user, and that is because the absence of special equipment needed to earn coins. You just kind of plug and play. So proof of stake has some relative benefits. Now, PIVX also uses what's called masternodes to secure their network. They provide additional services for coin mixing, anonymity, instant transactions, and even decentralized proposals and governance. What's more is these masternodes are incentivized with a portion of the block reward for providing these services, so in that way, PIVX masternodes act as a form of passive income for whoever decides to host one. And so I know at this point some of you are shaking your computer screens asking how many PIVX do I need, where do I get some, let me add them, I want a masternode. Well, calm down, all the answers are here on this website, which I as well will put in the description. Now, as a disclaimer, I don't know if this site is directly owned by PIVX or if it was just created by a savvy PIVX lover and user, but regardless, it's a great source of information. As you can see here, you need 10,000 PIVX exactly in a locked account in order to receive rewards for a master node. Optimally as well, you want to have 24-hour uptime, and this means a secure internet connection that's uninterrupted so the master node can have optimal 24-hour uptime so you can get your rewards. There are all kinds of services that you could seek out that offer 24-hour uptime. You can contract that out to a third party, but that could be found here in this website. Again, I'll link that below. Not only that, PIVX has utilized a very interesting system to balance the rewards of the masternodes relative to the amount of people staking. Said another way, the more people there are running masternodes, the less rewards. However, the more people there are running masternodes, the more rewards there are for staking. And you can see that played out here in this nice chart. You can see indicated by the red line, the more active masternodes there are, the lower percentage of the overall block reward running a masternode will offer. However, the more masternodes there are, the more incentive people have to stake. You can see that indicated by this blue line. In my opinion, this is a great visual aid for seeing how PIVX utilizes their unique seesaw algorithm to adjust the incentives in their network in real time. This, in theory and so far in practice, removes the need for manual difficulty adjustments in staking and allows for the rational price mechanism of the market to govern these otherwise complicated algorithms. It's really an ingenious solution. You can see here another chart that has a green line included that takes into account masternodes with cost. And of course, it has an inverse correlation to the staking rewards versus the masternode rewards. So a great chart. Again, I'll link the white paper in the description. You can check it out in more detail. Of course, the PIVX price is currently sitting about $9.64, and places where you can pick them up. You can check it out on Upbit, Bitrex, Binance, really a lot of the main exchanges, Cryptopia as well. And in my opinion, PIVX is a well-positioned and well-built project with pretty solid future potential. You can see here, as I said, places where you can get it, and you can see here that the GitHub has been very active recently. Given PIVX's track record of success, this really isn't too big of a surprise, but it's something I like to look at. You want to see a real project with real work from real people, and that's exactly what you see here. You see here 2 days ago a commit was put in, and there's always consistent updates going on. But that's all the time we have for today, and it wraps up my look at PIVX. Let me know if you like this type of content, or if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. Check us out on Discord and Twitter. As always, I'm Paul, and thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys next time.